So this one we're going to watch. I don't think we need to watch all of this. Yeah, we can start it to about here, I think. So Twisted went down to a solo and they got taken out while they were trying to rotate. That's just how, name of the game is. So let's look at this final zone. So you've got one team here. He ends up just being a solo, unfortunately. You have A7 on these two sides. Crazy. Um, and then you have Influence Rage here. So you see what we're doing, how we're doing these things. Now, Law is going to be getting some major air on these nades. And I want you to pay close attention to A7 here as we move further into the game. Some very, very good plays coming in from them. Now, I don't know how this guy, survives as long as he can. But, he goes out eventually. Fury has the Ooh. Not anymore, they don't. So now we're just down to two teams, Influence Rage and A7. Now both have, let's make note of this, both have very, very similar player placements, right? You've got Influence on this side, and over here you've got A7 and A7 on this side as well. So very, very similar. The only thing that's different is that their roles are reversed here. Here you have a 2-1 split, and here you have a 1-3 split, I think. Yeah. 7, wait, that's 4 and 3 is 7, yeah. So, and a 1-3 split. So A7 do have that man advantage. However, they're using it a little bit differently, and we'll see how that works for them in a few minutes. Now, A7, they're going to move in. Now notice what they do here. Let's look at that mini-map. So A7 went from over here, and notice the mini-map there, to over here, and notice what that does for them, right? A7 have now effectively surrounded Influence Rage in a way that they can't really get out of, right? Because their anchor point, A7's anchor point, the guy on the south side, that solo player, he's in a building. He's good. He's chill. He just needs to put pressure. He doesn't need to push. He doesn't need to move. He doesn't need to do anything. All he needs to do is stay there. And he doesn't even have to do any damage. This is where the psychological aspect comes in, right? He doesn't even have to do much or any damage. All he has to do is fire shots. He has to stay in his building, fire a few shots, maybe hit one, maybe just, shoot the car a little bit. Just let them know that the other A7 player is behind them and start to watch how that affects them a little bit, right? So that's A7's plan. And it's a darn good one. Okay, a beautiful split coming out from them. Really, really nice. You love to see it. Now, how do Influence Rage combat this push, this split, this flank from A7? Let's watch. Nades, Molotovs, excellent, good. I love a good nadeable. It's very nice. Good nade. So that's where Law comes in with his nades. He's going to be throwing them. So Revo goes down, Carrillo goes down. The nades are coming through. Now, this might be a small mistake coming in from A7, right? Just a small one, because they have put themselves within nadeable distance here, and that could be a problem in the future, or currently now. Law absolutely carrying the team here. Let's just watch that again. So Law gets 2 knocks, and I think that's really the only mistake, if you can call it a mistake, on A7's part here, is they've come too close to Law. They've come too close. They're within nadeable distance, and they are getting naded. Now, it's kind of the only tree, the only real bit of cover in zone right now. So they were wanting that to play with. So you can understand why they did it. I think just in the end, it was just a little too close, makes this a little bit harder for them. So you see, you have 2 out of the 3 over there are down. They have to get them rezzed up. That allows Law to go, they're dealt with for the time being. I need to look to the guy behind me now. And he does get him down. So with this, with Mafioso going down, which is an insane spray, by the way, how did he even know? A7's power is completely gone. Exactly, just done. This is what the problem can be with these anchor strategies, where you leave one player as the anchor and the rest of the team move around that anchor point. Is once your anchor point is cut off, then you don't have a tether. Your line is gone. There's not a lot of control you now have. You're kind of just there. So it can be very risky. So Mafioso goes down. That means that A7's power is gone. It's back into the hands of Influence Rage. Influence Rage, however, don't really do much about this. They allow these heals to come up, first of all. They do get that Law goes down, because now you've got these nades coming through. So Influence Rage, immediately, as soon as they had that knock done, they need to be over here. Now, the nades do come through. It's another barrage, because Law is now naded, so that's not going super well. Good nades. I mean, really good nades from Influence Rage, right? But still. Revo's now up a little bit more. They don't know he's there. Now it's more. More nades coming. I don't know how many nades these boys have. Like, sheesh. Okay, Law goes down. Now it's just 1v1. Immediately goes down. And now Revo is able to clutch this up. Bada bing, bada boom. A7 still get it. But they shouldn't have won that. Again, what we just talked about with NRG. The push is good. A slight mistake in the middle messes up the whole thing. Foils the whole plan. And then, in this case, they're able to bring it back, but only able to bring it back because the other team made a mistake, right? A7 shouldn't have won this if Influence Rage had been really speedy. As soon as A7's anchor point was knocked, not even getting the finish. I don't care about the finish. No one can get him there, right? As soon as he gets that knock, the entire team should have rushed to those 3 players ahead of Law and gone through him, and it would have been easy. So easy. But he didn't. And A7 were able to bring it back. GG's. So, yeah. Just very interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ice. That's what I'm saying. They should have pushed. I mean, he already had the 2, so technically they could have pushed, but they did have that last guy to worry about, right? So when this happened, when only McGrellin was up, yeah, they could have pushed as soon as this happened, but I understand why they didn't, because they knew that there was somebody. I don't know what the other 2 guys were doing, to be honest. I have no idea what they were doing. They were doing nothing compared to Law. Then, Mafioso spots him, takes him down. Instant push. As soon as that comes up on your screen that you've knocked him, everybody, get to the tree. But even Law doesn't do nothing. Even Law's looking over there. It's kind of weird. So, the only thought I can think right now is maybe they didn't know that there were 3 players. They may have thought it was a 2-2 split here. Possibly. Which would be weird. But it would explain why even Law was not looking back over towards the 2 knocked players. They may have thought that there were only 2 over there. Which would make sense, but also annoying because, come on, guys. SMH. So, that's my theory, or a possible theory also. But as Green says, we've been seeing so much hesitancy, it wouldn't surprise me that they just didn't do it on time. Both teams were nervous or something because both of them leaked some aggressive push. I think A7 played that perfectly fine. I'm not sure that A7 felt particularly nervous there. Influence Rage are too experienced to be thinking that they should hesitate, so that's a weird one. But yeah, there's definitely either hesitation or not enough information. And A7 wins the game there. They brought it back. Yeah, it's a shame because Influence Rage definitely should have had that in the bag. It was a really nice play by Law. He carried that entire game by doing what he did. But A7 brought it back. GG's. You know? Can't fault him. Comms are getting sloppy. Ooh. That would be a really good point, Green. I don't think so, Roman. I think they played the safe play here. If they had pushed Law, they would have put themselves without cover. So if they had done this, let's say they had done this. If they go over here, you can see that, right? Yeah. If they go over there, and instead of coming around and then looking, they go right here. Notice in the video that there's a little bit of like a ridge here happening. There's a little bit of elevation and dip. There's one here too. And slightly over here, right? So that's kind of where our elevation is. If they had gone through here, it would have been too easy for Influence to do something about it and disregard Mafioso completely. The idea here was to go around and look at Law, and then Mafioso also looking at Law and pinch him. I don't know what these two were doing. They did absolutely nothing. Kill feed, they're not in the kill feed. They're not looking around. I don't think they even shot. They threw a few nades and that was kind of it. I don't know what they were doing. Law was doing everything. But this is why I'm saying this anchor was so important, that Mafioso as anchor was so important, because now these three can move around as they like without too much problem from these two, because he's here. Hello? He's here. So it's that sort of thing, I think. Yeah, as soon as Mafioso was down, it was game over for A7. The problem is that Influence did not pick up on that and did not take that opportunity. Should have all gone to the warehouse? No, Roman. No. They should not have gone to the warehouse. Absolutely not. What I think their push as they did it was fantastic. I think it really was, because it put Influence in a sandwich position, because now they had two sides of shooting, right? It would have been even better if they had left one maybe at this tree or something, and then that way there was like a three-way, right? And I think that's what Influence were expecting. I don't think they knew that all three were where they were, personally. So yeah, Roman, I think their push was exactly as it should have been. I just think the only thing I would have changed with their push, other than having a second anchor point, would be maybe to not go so close, because they put themselves within nade range, and that really messed them up.